In today's episode of the podcast, we are rounding out our week focusing on celebration by giving you some concrete examples of some things that you can do to actually celebrate, and then also think about, okay, so what's next? I am your host, Elle Edwards. I'm here with coaching, training, and this podcast to help you embrace your inner weirdo so you can make Jesus CEO in your life and business. And if you'd like some concrete help with that, if you want to talk about what that looks like very specifically within the context of your life and business, go to faithandbusinessplayground.com/talk to get on my calendar. Really excited to chat with you more about what this might look like for you. In the meantime, let's get on with today's episode. Now, you might have heard me earlier on in the week tell you that I actually had the conversation about this idea of celebration with the members of the Faith and Business Playground on Facebook. I asked them, what do they celebrate and what do they do? Because I wanted to give you some concrete examples. So I'm actually, as I'm speaking, I'm just pulling up the post because there are some really nice examples in there. So one of the ladies in there, she said that she actually has three celebration lists. There's one for small wins, one for medium wins, and one for big wins. And so depending upon whether it's a small, a medium, or a big win, it will depend upon what act of celebration she gives. So it might be something like a nice bath or spending some time reading a book. And she says it's the intention of the celebration that's important. And that's one of the things I hope has come across throughout all of these episodes this week. How you actually choose to show up and celebrate is largely irrelevant. It's the actual act of doing it and the intention behind it, and actually the pausing and the celebrating that's more important than the actually how do I do it. Because how you celebrate, like I've already said, is really personal. But some ideas from you some ideas for you, I should say, in addition to what we've already had. You know, I purposely like keeping Fridays quite light. And so it allows space for long walks with the dogs. It allows time for little things like watching Thronecast, Game of Thrones, time of recording. It's quite tense. There's nothing wrong. I think that in the circles of getting stuff done, binge watching Netflix has been given a bit of a hard time because we say, oh, if you want to be successful in business, you want to get rid of your telly, you shouldn't be doing it. I think that's a load of rubbish. Actually, there is space and time and a place for enjoying the things that you like, and sometimes we just need to shut down our brains a little bit. And that's not to say that you should. I wouldn't advocate. There's a balance. I wouldn't advocate losing yourself in hour after hour after hour of mind-numbing television. But when you've had like a really busy day and you've maybe you've read lots of stuff or you've spoken to lots of people and you've done lots of things and you just want to like sit back and laugh, that's where Netflix is wonderful for that, because there's lots of stuff to make you laugh there. So one of the things that you might do to celebrate, to celebrate those little wins is just to enjoy your favorite show guilt-free. That's really important. Don't do this and feel a bit like, oh, a bit naughty. No, just enjoy it. The actual act of the intention behind that celebration is what is important. It's not actually what you choose to do. Bigger wins, of course, you might choose to go out for a meal with your nearest and dearest. I'm not a drinker. I'm rubbish with alcohol, but some people like to celebrate with champagne. What you actually do is irrelevant. It's the actual act of doing. One of my favorite celebration things is fresh flowers. I like to wear my favorite perfume every single day. I will say that. But if I didn't wear it every single day, I might choose to wear some perfume by way of, I want you to think about this for yourself. The suggestion that we had from within the community of small, medium and larger wins is actually really important. It's really useful because all of them are wins and all of them should be celebrated. And I said should, but still, give me a pass on that one. All of them deserve to be celebrated, shall we say. But how you celebrate might change according to the size and the context of what you are actually celebrating. So I've given you just some really quick throwaway ideas of things that you can do. But what I would really encourage you to do is think about what feels delightful to you. That's more important than me just giving you a list of random things that you can do. Because if you want a random list of things you can do, just Google it. The internet's great for that. Ask the internet, what can I do to celebrate? And you'll get lists. And if I'm wrong and you don't get lists, come back to me and I shall Google and find you a list myself. But the piece that I want to then reflect on to round the week out is this idea then of reflection. So we talked about how celebration is one piece within this puzzle. And that what we're going to be focusing on next week is your well-being. And it all goes around in a cycle. And we're going to do, the reason why we focus on well-being next is because in order for you to get ready for the piece after that, which is goal setting, I want you to be in a strong, resilient frame of mind. So that's why well-being is what comes next. That's not to say, though, that you can't be reflecting on and preparing for that goal setting piece. So after you've celebrated a win, I want to encourage you to think about, okay, what went well? What am I really pleased about? What do I want to congratulate myself on? And what might I do differently next time? And that's not to be negative. That's not to take anything away from the celebration. There's nothing wrong with going, this thing and this thing and this thing was brilliant, and this is the bit I would tweak for next time. My example of this is I'm not very good at cooking. I haven't starved yet. Look down at me. I've got a nice curvy frame. There's no danger of me ever starving. But I'm not a great cook. My husband, however, loves to cook. And so he creates all sorts of different delicious, lovely vegan things for me. And he does a range of different vegan curries for me, and he tinkers with them from time to time. And they're always lovely. And I always eat them. I'm like, oh, wow, that was really amazing. Thank you. And then I go, and I have to be careful how I time this, because otherwise it comes across as ungrateful. The next time you make it, can we try it with, and then give them some examples. So the example from the most recent curry was there was no cauliflower in it. And I really like cauliflower in a curry because I don't miss meat at all. I've been vegan for about 18 months now. I don't miss meat in the slightest, other than as a texture. And so the danger is, if you like, this curry had lentils and beans and pulses. It was amazing. It was full of flavor, but it didn't. And he added some mushrooms in afterwards at my request, but it didn't have a chunky texture. So I said, for next time, can we have some cauliflower in there? And he said, yeah, of course we can. And so me giving that feedback, like I say, it has to be carefully timed feedback. It's always a bit of a running joke. It's like, okay, he gives me something, I try it, I say it's delicious. Okay, anything you'd like to change? Because it's pretty much standard now. We've known each other long enough that we can do that, and it doesn't cause offense. But in the same way that when I can have that lovely meal and really enjoy something and still want to tweak it slightly for next time, it doesn't take anything away from the actual joy and the deliciousness of that meal. And the same is true with your celebrations. And so that's what I mean by reflection. And the piece I want to leave you with by way of encouragement is that when you're doing this act of celebration, this pausing, this enjoying the moment, I would encourage you, if you don't already, to add in that reflection. What went well? What do I like about this? What do I appreciate about this? Is there anything I would do differently next time? And look at it as a learning opportunity, because we never really stop learning and growing, or we ought not to anyway. I think that when we stop learning and growing, I think we sort of die a little bit inside. I don't ever want to stop learning. It's a joyful experience to me. And I don't necessarily mean that from a school perspective. I know not everybody enjoyed school, but the art of learning is glorious. So you can actually learn and grow and develop while you're doing this act of thankfulness as well. And so that's the piece I want to leave you with as we round out Thankfulness Week, is do decide how you're going to Celebration Week, apologies. Do decide how you're going to celebrate. Do consciously pick things and reflect, but do that reflection piece as well. Don't miss out that reflection piece, because that piece will help you then grow and evolve and learn and move forward from there. And it means the next time you get to celebrate, it'll be even more cool. It's like a double win. Excellent. I do hope you've enjoyed this week's episodes on celebration. Like I said, next week we are focusing on Youier Wellbeing, and there's lots of juicy stuff to dig into that one. I'm really excited about it. So if you're not already subscribed, faithandbusinessplayground.com/listen, where you can make sure you don't miss out on any of those episodes. In the meantime, thank you for joining me this week. I look forward to catching up with you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.